Hey
Got it.
everyone, it's Jeremy again. As you can see, I have my friend Nate Thomas with me here again. We are going to review a movie he suggested to me called Titan AE. Thank you for joining me, Nate.
Indeed, thank you for having me. You know, personally, I love this film, and I hope you liked it.
Yeah, it's got a understandably a very a compelling and a story that anyone would be invested in. I mean, it's the our world being destroyed and the story being for trying for a story for a new home, and you're obviously going to be hoping that that comes true.
Well, the box office didn't agree with that, unfortunately.
Really,
This film was a massive bomb at the box office and killed the animation studio.
I will say there were some issues with the animations here or there, but I do think the story was at least to me it was very. I was hoping for a happy ending. I mean,
I know what
what
you're talking about. The scenes where the CGI clearly didn't match the hand drawn.
yeah, it just seeing Earth being destroyed at the beginning is probably, regardless whether it's in whether you feel it or not. To me, it's one of the most terrifying scenes in fiction. I mean, it's our home being destroyed. Everything we've known, everything that we've seen, everything our species and other species have lived and experienced being destroyed in just moments. It's it's just, was a tragic and heartbreaking scene. It just shows the threat that the, Dredge had in this, the threat the Dredge posed in this movie.
Although, to be fair, the movie doesn't say fully why they hated us. Apparently, there was a book written after the movie that kind of explained it a little more. It was more involved as self fulfilling prophecy.
Real Yeah, I was thinking kinda like that. I mean, the Dredge said, Kale's father said at the beginning that the Dredge, feared the threat our species could pose because of all the things that now were going on. I mean, he's talked about everything from, fire to, the
Splitting the
creation.
atom.
Yeah, splitting the atom and everything, is what the Dredge feared about us, our, progression in, I guess, what we're capable of doing. I mean,
Our role would have been changed, and then we might have surpassed them, I guess. It didn't go into full detail in the movie.
I yeah, it's, whether some humans intended, what we would be doing in the universe from, after that point, it's just, um I guess it just goes to show that fear can make even the most powerful and intelligent of races doing uh, a horrible and an evil act, whether or not they thought it was for the greater good or not. Because in the end, like you said, it was a self fulfilling prophecy. What made them want to destroy us ended up causing them to be destroyed.
Well, again, I never read the book this is based like, I think the book came out after movie. After
It's
the
okay.
movie. Somebody in the comments, please correct me if I'm wrong, but according to the book, Akima had a book written about her where she went into detail about why the Dredge did this. And even at one point in the movie where she's captured, she says, "It's not about what we've done to the Dredge, they're afraid of what we might become."
Yeah,
I
there's.
mean,
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
that's still taking it too far, though. Maybe we could have worked together.
Yeah, I think it's because you've seen a lot of fiction what humans do out of fear and misunderstanding. I mean, one of the most terrible and tragic yet powerful stories of human conflict with another species is the mutants in Marvel. What
Oh, yeah.
we feared caused many humans to do horrible and evil acts. I mean, with Genosha being destroyed, it's definitely one of the biggest ones that fiction shows of humans' hatred and fear can cause, untold destruction.
I'm glad you brought that up because there's a point, and maybe we'll get to this down the line depending on how it goes. Have you ever seen the Studio Ghibli film Princess Mononoke?
I think I did. It's been a while. I can only remember certain parts. It has this girl who was raised by wolf spirits or
Yeah, that's the one. Because in that movie, the humans and the animals were fighting each other, but it's not because like we're so different that we just have to fight. It's because we're so similar we
mm,
have to fight. We both want the same thing, but we can't coexist because we're so similar.
That's
And the humans in that movie aren't shown to be pure evil either. Neither is the Forest. It's just a mutual thing. They want the same thing, a future and to prosper.
yeah, it's a terrible irony because I'd mentioned this in my Secret Invasion videos. Director Fury says humans can't coexist with each other, unfortunately, and it shows here that unfortunately, even more intelligent races who could arguably be like wiser than us in one way or another, possibly, like can like do show that the fear and well, I'm repeating myself, but fear and misunderstanding can cause destruction and untold death because like you said, similarities sometimes cause species to clash in ways that are end with horrible tragedy. I mean, we saw what the dredge did not only to I mean, they weren't satisfied at destroying Earth. They were literally shooting down the escaping ships, and like they tried to destroy the Titan. This human species in this fictional movie universe, our species, best
Was on the
hope. I
brink
mean,
of extinction.
yeah, like what was it? Corsair said like after 15 years we could.
Corso.
Oh, sorry, Corso.
You were close. I know the names are weird in this movie. You were close.
Yeah, yeah, Corso said, they weren't at that time, 15 years after the destruction of Earth, there weren't many, humans left, and, it was, the
Till the end
Titan.
of the movie.
Well, in the sense, compared to what we were, before on Earth, billions of us to, maybe, a couple of thousand, I'm not sure, but comparatively, yeah, there, weren't, nearly as many of us left, but, regardless if there was only, 1,000 or a million or whatever, um, our species, like you said, was on the brink of this extinction. So it was
I want to
definitely.
talk. Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead. No, it's
No, no,
fine.
you continue. You're in the middle of the sentence. Go ahead.
Well, I was about to end. It just our species was nearly on the brink of the extinction, and thankfully, with Titan and everything, a new world was made.
I want to ask, did you like the Dredge? And I mean that design based and what they did, because I think a lot of people like these guys. I personally think they looked intimidating. It was one of the few times where the CGI actually looked good in the movie.
Yeah,
Maybe we get a picture of them up in editing, but
yeah, yeah, the dredge, in terms of kind of of a appearance wise and power wise kind of reminded me of the Valk from the Transformers Beast Wars. I think
who
that's
you cut out for a second? Who?
oh sorry, I don't know why I cut out. The Dredge kind of in some ways in sort of appearance and capability sort of reminded me of the Valk from the anime Transformers Beast Wars show. Um
We've already covered that movie. I thought you were going back to that for a second.
yeah,
Watch that
no,
review, by the way.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead and watch that Rise of the Beast, which me and Nate discussed a little while back. But no, the Dredge, yeah, I do think that in the terms of appearance, they were intimidating because Corso said supposedly they couldn't be beaten because they were pure energy, like a different form of life that was more powerful than us in at least one way. Because I think the uh, theory is that energy can't be destroyed or whatnot. They can only be transformed. But that's kind of just one part. But no, I think that in some ways, yeah, they the just they like these a spectral or what's a good word for it
I
semi.
know what you're going for, but I can't place the word either.
Yeah, I can't. But no, no, I think the dredge. I think even though we didn't get to see as much of them as I would have thought originally, but just seeing what in their scenes that they had in the movie, they definitely showed what kind of threat they were, and both appearance wise and capability, I think they were, at least capable or acceptable antagonists and villains because they destroyed Earth. I mean, it it's just that alone shows how much of a threat they posed.
Although to be fair, like with the dredge, I'm going to go back. I think I'm going to touch briefly on what you said.
Hmm.
You don't see them much, but they really steal the scene. Like the action scenes with them were really good.
Yeah, the I actually maybe it would have been even more telling because, like, we see in a couple of the scenes that they're in that the weapons, Corso and, what was it? I can't remember the
Now,
yeah, like, it showed, like, their weapons actually seemingly destroyed, like, their, fighters and everything, so I would've thought, like, that's kinda a little bit of an iffy about, like, the energy can't be destroyed or whatnot, but maybe,
could maybe because it was powerful enough energy, it canceled itself out and
it's poss
transformed into something else?
possibly, I mean, I'm not, I'm not, some or,
It's science fiction. Why are we focusing on
I
this?
know, I know, I know. I just thought, like,
I'm
maybe it
joking,
would've
brother.
showed, like no, it's fine. It maybe it would've been, like, been more defining if, like, to show how much more of a threat they posed if, like, none of the, weapons that the humans had, like, really, had an effect on them or not. It was just the transferring of energy, like, changing into a different form would have really, like, ultimately been what, like, really, changed things because the greatest strength of the Dredge would also been, like, their downfall, the strength and weakness,
Yeah,
like paradox, but no, like, that's one little part I thought could have been maybe a bit, fixed there, but no, I get what you're saying.
you made me think back because in the first 20 minutes, you see one get his arm shot off in the bar-like place, and then he regrows it.
I
You
know
remember that?
I remember them being shut down, I don't remember them losing the arm, but maybe I'm misremembering.
When they first go to confine Kale, when he says to Corso, "What do they want? They want you." Same, why do you only dead? Corso clearly shoots one in the arm, and you see him pick it up, and it grows back. The
Mm,
dredge.
I guess I forgot that, I just thought I saw him get, like, the
It's like
dredge.
10 seconds long, if that. It's really short.
Yeah, I guess I just forgot that, I thought he was just knocked down and then just got back up, but now either way, yeah, it still, like, shows that while they're not obviously invincible or invulnerable, they're still incredibly powerful and dangerous.
To touch on your point, I think what it, I'm leaning slightly towards the middle, but I'm leaning towards yours a little bit. Let's say, for example, the human weapons just could stun them; they couldn't kill them. Then when they just this is a spoiler review guide. We're just gonna put that up there right now,
Yeah,
guys.
it was movie came out what, like, 2000, right?
Yeah, 2000. This movie hasn't been seen by a lot of people. It's more of a
Oh,
cult
okay.
film.
Okay,
Like I said, bombed horribly. We'll get to that in a little bit. But
okay.
like, say the human weapons just knocked them back. It was all they did. It could just stun them. It would have made it then like we have to use their own energy because that's what the Titan did. They harnessed the Dredge's own energy to power the Titan and then destroy them. By the way, that was pretty gruesome. The death of the Dredge. You see them melting.
Yeah, like, hearing them scream like that was, real was, I mean, whether or not you, feel sorry for the Dredge or not is just
I
like
don't.
it yeah, that's saying it just seeing, like, how they get, altered or being, killed was definitely uh quite a really, defining scene because, like, seemingly these beings couldn't feel pain or anything or not, but hearing it, what was it, their leader
The
scream like
Queen,
that
I think that's all she's called, if I'm not mistaken. Is just the Queen.
I guess I forgot that, but yeah, but hearing her scream like that really goes to show, like, like, what they were, doing with the, energy transfer really affected them.
I want to bring this up since you mentioned that scream.
Mhm.
Like, I know the Dredge clearly don't speak English, which, by the way, I got to give the movie credit for not having everybody speak English.
Right, right.
That bothered me a little bit looking back, just how some of them clearly didn't speak English, and then half the other species did. But with the Dredge not speaking English, they give him subtitles, which I guess is needed for because this is a kids movie. How it didn't get a PG-13 rating, we'll get to in a little bit with some of the scenes that are in it. But
Mm.
let's say, for sake of argument, the Dredge didn't have subtitles, so we just had to guess what they were saying and based on the characters' reactions. Would you think that would have worked better? Because sometimes their dialogue wasn't that good, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think they fully went into, like, I don't know if they got a linguist to, like, really, create this alien language or the Dredge's language. So, there are questions there, and definitely would have been better if, like, if the humans had, like, universal translators or something, like, to understand the, languages of the various alien species in the movie. But,
Yeah, but what I mean though is like, let's say we didn't see what they were
right.
saying, but the characters knew. Like the scene in the mothership where Kale's been captured and he hears the Queen going on the big speech saying, "Set a course and we'll destroy the human race." Imagine we didn't know what he said and just had to base it on his reaction to that, and that how now he's desperate to escape.
Yeah, it's I guess it because, like you said, it was supposed to be a kids movie, so there wasn't supposed to be as much, like, I guess you could say, like mystery or like complexity. But as you said, I mean, I'm not just there's some like those scenes and everything, but like I'm kind of surprised this is supposed to be like a kids movie. But then again, there are certain like kid shows in the past and everything that are not, I guess you could say, aren't really kid friendly. I don't know, but it's or
This
like,
is when PG meant something. This is the same generation that brought us Shrek. So
mm. But yeah, the I could see what you're saying, like the having that mystery and like feel of the unknown with like these with a dredge and what they're saying. I definitely would have made like the idea like you could feel like Kale's panic even more like understandable because like these race of beings that are extremely powerful and you don't know what they're saying. It can make you like your fear can go in any which way because we already I saw them like destroy Earth. There's no telling what they're saying or they're planning because, well, like as you said, that just not knowing could have really made things even more like make would have made them
your
even
own
more impactful.
imagination can make it more terrifying as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. I mean, just alone like seeing like knowing Earth was destroyed by these beings and like just fear like what else could they do is like make things even more like terrifying.
Like one point on the dredge, I really like their design. It's really unique. You don't see a lot of aliens designed like that, even nowadays. I really don't think. I mean, do we can we bring up the twist villains? Because there were some twist villains in this movie.
Sure. Yeah, well, I mean, like you said, this is a spoiler review, so
Yeah, like Corso, I can understand him as a twist villain. I saw this movie when I was really young. Like I was 3 when this movie came out. If because I was born in '97 and this movie came out, I want to say mid 2000.
no.
So I didn't know the twists that were coming as a kid. Well, when you see Corso, you genuinely got to know him, and it's a surprise. Pre, he's a freaking triple agent.
I mean, regardless of whether or not where their story would begin, I'm thinking we might probably think that the Dredge wouldn't have honored their deal. I mean, they destroyed a world full of countless species just to try to destroy one. I mean, but yeah, the Corso, like, admittedly, I had my different
Suspicions.
well, not exactly suspicions, but sort of like mixed feelings because I guess one because like him like thinking there was no hope against these beings because you know they destroyed Earth and like they can't like be killed like no like more biological or like physical like beings like humans or the other species in the movie. But so I guess like him like just wanting to like survive and just live a life without possibly being in their way or something is one thing. But like but then again, like you said, like having your planet destroyed changes a man because like I mean, us not going, just thinking about that, how would like anyone like be after that? I mean, you don't know like what you would even feel or think in that like possible terrifying experience because like let alone surviving it and like you don't know what you would do after that. So like you can't say for certain what you would do in that situation. But then on the other hand, the possibility of like a new home, like a new planet, like where humans could possibly live and like thrive. I mean, it's kind of those like complexities there that made me kind of like I said, have these mixed feelings about Corso because
I think it got a little too complicated for its own good.
yeah, in some ways, but yeah, I could partially see why Corso was a twist villain. It's just thankfully like he
He died at the end of
helped.
the movie,
Yeah, thankfully he died like trying like making like the new planet and stopping the dredge. So at least there's that. Creed
but
was
oh,
mm,
sorry, you were about to mention what I was
no
going to.
go
Sorry,
no go ahead.
Pre, you know from the first scene this guy's not a good guy.
Yeah, I mean Creed. I'm not sure exactly what to say. He's just the usual.
His death
Okay,
scene is pretty memorable and graphic.
yeah. I mean it's I mean it's one oh sorry I keep stammering guys. It's like
I'm doing
something.
it too, guys.
Yeah,
It's all right.
but yeah, Preet's death was like you have certain like kid movies, like, or kid shows where you have, like, death scenes that are really, like, um, direct and impactful, whether or not you think, like, they should have been, like, whether you think they're impactful
Deserving.
or not. Like, I mean, yeah, like, him just having his neck snapped like that was definitely, really a direct, element because, I mean, what would you do in that situation to someone who was willingly, going to help, like, this species who destroyed your world and was gonna, try to eliminate, your species, like, what you think would be, like, a fitting, response or end for that kind of person or character?
I think to touch on the death scene, you literally see the body fall down the stairs and tumble to a heap. Not only that, you hear the neck crack,
Yeah.
remember? You plainly hear the sound of the neck breaking.
Yeah, you see Corso just snap his neck within moments, I mean, it's,
PG, guys.
but yeah, no, I mean, Creed,
He got what was coming to him.
yeah, I mean, whether or not someone think like, there are some people who question, like, some, like, death or not, like, deaths or not, but, like, for me, like, I'm not gonna get in the whole death penalty thing, that's not what I'm gonna cover, it's just, like, as you said, like, he was well, you didn't say this, but, he was literally going to, like, let the human species, like, last chance of a real new home die and kill the people who were trying to make that happen. I mean, I get you could arguably say, like, that was, more than he, deserved or he should deserve more, but, like, yeah, I think, like you said, that was a fitting or just a justified end for him.
Well, what really annoyed me was the fact that he and Corso literally had good chemistry as teammates, and the fact that he betrayed him just because, as he said, it wasn't the money, it was the health plan. Was it the health or health? I can never figure out which one
It
he said.
I think it was the health plan, "They let me live if I kill all of you," or I can't maybe they weren't his exact words, but I'm trying to, like
You nailed it. It was that. I'm just
yeah,
waiting for the dredge to walk in and go, "You're
yeah,
dead."
I don't I highly doubt that they would have honored their deal because like you
Then
said,
again, he
like,
wasn't human. Maybe they would have.
I mean they I guess and like they, did with Corso, I mean, they could like said they could do what they want. I mean, it was a human who was literally, like, willing to let, like, humanities and, like, the other species of Earth, like, last chance at another home, like, be erased because, like, that's a species that's much more involved and much more invested in, like, the, new home of this, new of the species of Earth, humans specifically, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe they would have let Pre go. I don't know. I just personally
Leave it in
doubt
the
they would have.
comments.
Yeah, like let us know if you think the Dredge would have let Creed live because personally I don't think they would have because I mean, granted they learned. Yeah, I mean, I was like I said, I don't know for certain. It's just me personally. I don't think they would have because I mean I don't think they really cared either way. It's just no. Creed was just the I guess you could say the usual
The
uh
stereotypical jerk.
yeah. I mean he was um like, yeah, the stereotypical jerk, smug seemingly for no reason. I mean, but,
He had a couple good moments where he was actually threatening.
yeah, I mean, like, just alone him, willing to kill all 3 of them was already impactful enough. I mean, just willing to let the work with the dredge just to get, their reward and everything, that just alone, shows what kind of threat he is, whether it's, physical or, any other way.
I mean, there is that scene where he shot Akima in the chest, or
Right.
was it shoulder? Excuse me.
Yeah, it was close to the chest, but yeah, it was around the shoulder.
I love the fact that he's clearly just firing blindly. I don't think he can see underneath the door, and he still gets a perfect shot.
I don't know, it's yeah, that you could question whether or not it was really, if
Because
it
if he's
was
shooting at that angle, he's like, let's say this is the door right here.
right.
He's shooting at that angle. How can you get that perfect a shot? Especially, she's probably over 5 feet, give or take. So you would have shot her in the foot, if anything.
Yeah, it's I guess it was just like to, be like a scene of shock or something, I don't know, I mean, we don't know, like, his full history of whether or not he's a really capable, fighter or not, I mean, he arguably
He couldn't
quickly
kill a grasshopper.
yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah, true, it's just I mean, that's a little bit of an inconsistency there, I think, but,
It was funny though.
yeah, yeah, it was. It's just but also showed, like, he was arguably, it also showed he was incompetent as well because he was supposed to keep watch for the dredge, and, like, he wasn't even doing that. He was just, like, caught up in his own,
Well,
sa
looking back, we know why.
yeah, right, right. Fair enough. It's just I don't know, it's the matter of, like, questions of, like, how capable he was or not because we don't get, like, a full history of, Corso's, crew except for really Akima.
Yeah, like to touch back on trade when they are on the planet Shesharim, which by the way looks beautiful, where they go to sit talk to the gal.
Right.
That was mostly CGI mixed with hand drawn. It looked really good. It was one of
Yeah.
the few times the CGI mixed really good.
Yeah, like, it definitely, like, the setting and everything, like, really, like, was, like, a flip on what people would think of, like, a supposedly wise or benevolent species because we they immediately thought, like, when they got there that they were responsible for, what was it? The gal or
They thought they murdered the gal when they
yeah.
were.
Yeah, it was a little flip on that. I mean, they didn't even speak, but it showed, like, just how, helpful and wise they were because they showed them the way without even speaking. So, like, it was just flipped, like, the notion of, like, supposedly, like, dark entities or characters being evil when in reality, in this scene, in this, show, they were actually good, but, like, that's just one little, piece of the movie. But, yeah, that was like, it helped, like, make the more I guess you could say more of a complex film for, like, in one way or another.
I think let's talk about the animation of this film because it was like we said, the CGI is either really miss or just okay. Well, the hand drawn animation, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's yeah, I mean, like, the scene of, like, the new Earth being formed was, probably one of the best in the movie.
Planet Bob.
Yeah. I know it was supposed to be played for laughs, but, you know, granted, like, certain but I'm not gonna get to my view of comedy and everything, but no, it was the
I thought it was stupid growing up. I'm in your boat.
yeah, I mean, seeing the new Earth being formed and seeing that, that incredible, like, transformation of, like, the space around it into a new planet, it was beautiful. It was one of the
Seeing
best
the ships returning, you see the
yeah,
mother and the kid from the soccer station. I know that's not what it's called. I just said soccer because it was easier to remember that scene by. It
yeah, New Bangkok, I think, was what it was called, but,
was a
it
drifter colony.
yeah, but, like, yeah, seeing the new Earth form into shape, it was one of the best scenes in the movie because I mean, it's the new home of humans and every other known species, like, um,
They find
uh
the DNA of every species inside the Titan before the climax.
yeah, it was like, yeah, thankfully, the humans, and it would've been obviously, like, no telling, like, how many, like, not just humans, but, like, nearly every animal on Earth was wiped out by the dredge in that one scene. Thankfully
I think
go ahead.
we're talking over each other tonight. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, it's okay. Um Yeah, thankfully, like, a lot of humans escaped and everything, and, like, I'm glad, the humanity survived, whether in massive numbers or not, but, I mean, just imagine, like, seeing the scene of, like, on the planetary level, like, being on Earth, like, seeing all that destruction coming for you, and you see nearly every animal on Earth being killed in, like, a really horrific fashion, and at least we see that humans at least, like, whether or not it was, like whether it fits, like, fully formed or not, like, at least they try to save not only, our species, but, like, still, like I said, I'm thankful humanity survived in one way or another. At least we saw, like
I always questioned the ending of this movie because they found the new planet pretty darn quick. But there's no indication as to how they knew it reformed.
yeah, that's a good question because, like,
I
I
love the
mean
movie, but that I like the ending, but that always made me wonder. It's like, how did they find it so quickly? Were they just following them the whole time? Were they just off in the background and the dredge just were not paying attention to them?
okay, okay, where were we at? Sorry.
Just for context, guys, the recording gave us a message. We had to fix it.
Yeah, we'll be probably doing this in more than one, like, recording. It's just, like, because I don't have, like, upgraded Zoom, like, I only have a certain amount of time for recordings, but, okay, let's get back to what we were saying.
I think we were talking about the ending, but we just finished talking about that.
Oh, yeah, just like the matter of like, space and everything, and them being, like, finding it really
Found.
quickly or not was kinda like you said, was questionable, but granted because of, like, the map and everything, it's sort of understandable, but yeah, it's still like, questions and everything, but, uh, where were we going after this?
This reviews is pretty much talking on whatever we just want to talk on in
Oh,
general. I
oh,
mean, it's an older movie. I want to talk about the director, as we mentioned when we stopped recording briefly.
okay.
Do you know who directed this film, by the way?
Admittedly, I don't. I was, like, so busy trying to rewatch the movie before we did this recording, I didn't get to, see their name yet.
This film was directed by Don Bluth, who's known as one of the great animation directors. Like, he worked at Disney before he started his own animation company. I think you'll know some of his movies just by based on what I'm going to say. Land Before Time was one of his biggest films. He directed that. That was cut down because it was too intense, by the way. He also directed Secret of Nim, An American Tale. He directed that.
Mm,
He directed Anastasia, which was actually his highest grossing film. He directed All Dogs Go to Heaven. Can't forget about that one.
yeah, I can't forget that.
Yeah, and then rest in peace, by the way, the little girl from that movie.
Mm,
Uh, anyways, Don Bluth related. She unfortunately was murdered. We're not going to cover that in this video.
yeah, I didn't.
But so those are probably his more well-known movies. He's had he's had a lot of really bad ones that are just okay or bad. Like A Troll in Central Park is considered his worst film, and I can agree with that from what I've seen of that one.
What was it called again?
A Troll in Central Park.
I don't think I've heard of it.
Literally, it's just a troll is banished from his kingdom to New York City because he grew flowers.
Oh,
It's literally ah. Shout out to the Nostalgia Critic because he watched that movie and he had to review it. And he says Don Bluth is one of his favorite directors, but the film literally gives nothing to its audience.
mm,
And say what you will even about this film, because this was near the end of his directing career, even though rumor has it he's coming back for something else.
mm.
He's of the opinion that kids can take whatever you throw them in the movie as long as there's a rewarding ending. Land Before Time, you see Littlefoot's mother die and everything's dark and depressing, he gets his reward at the end of it.
Mm.
It's like, so I do agree with him that the kids can take more than we give them credit for, because this is a PG movie, and you definitely see blood in there and a lot of people dying.
Yeah, I mean, just whether or not it's like you're seeing like on the Earth or not, but just seeing like Earth destroyed is definitely something for like even like more like graphics scenes or not. Like just seeing our world being destroyed like that is definitely terrifying as it is.
You also see, like, as we mentioned, the neck snapping. You clearly see splurts of blood multiple times in the
Yeah.
movie. I really love his philosophy because he did challenge Disney quite a few times with his beliefs that kids can take more than we give them credit for. Then again, this is the same guy who directed Rockadoodle, so I don't know.
I don't think I've heard of that one, but yeah. Anyways.
Literally, a singing rooster dresses up like Elvis.
Oh.
Then it
Oh.
turns out the whole thing was a dream in a kid's mind, and then it comes to life. Literally, it doesn't make sense.
Oh.
I'm
Oh.
sorry, I just broke my
No, no,
whole
it's
routine.
fine. I mean, like like I said, we try to, like I said, we try to keep these conversations organic as best we can. But yeah,
We
no,
were talking
this,
about the director, so I think that's what
yeah,
got us onto this.
yeah. I mean, like, understanding like the people who made a movie is also an important part of understanding the movie or show itself.
He really never liked CGI that much in terms of movies because he said, and feel free to disagree with him on this because this is a very split issue. He says you feel more personal investment in the hand drawn than the CG. And he liked some CG movies. He loved Finding Nemo, he loved Tangled. But he says just when you see the brushstrokes from the hand drawn, you can feel the people genuinely loved it more when they were making it because they wanted to make it look as good as possible.
I think it's like whether or not if the end product is good or not, and obviously that's important. It's just like there's also like intention, whether they're personally drawing or like creating it on the computer or not. I mean, art takes different forms, and like whether someone like tries to do like their like if someone tries their best and really loves what they're doing, that on its own. Like, I'm not really a good artist, and, like, I haven't
Same
done,
here.
like, drawing in a while or not, but, like, whether, like also, like, I'll be giving a link to my, friend's, Fanfiction, channel in the description below because he is a great writer, and he's doing some really good stories right now, and he's already made some, but I also wanna speak on, like, the whether it's, like, you're writing or drawing or not, like, an artist, like, makes things with, a passion in their, different ways, and I think that sometimes even, whether or not the, end product is good or bad, and I say, I do think it's important, like, to make it, like, as good as possible, but like I said, I'm not really a good artist, but I think,
You could have fooled me with all the chapters you write when I was lagging behind.
I've been on a writer's block for anyways, but I'm not gonna get into myself, but
It's all good.
what it's, having, like, someone, like, work passionately at what they wanna create is definitely defining on its own, and, like, whether, like, someone's hand drawing a film or, like, show or, like, they're, like, say, creating it on a computer, like, it shows, like, speaks to the passion and what they make is truly, defining to, what's, uh, being created and what's eventually the, end result.
Yeah, I'm gonna say to that point before we stop this recording session, and we'll definitely do another recording to continue this
Yeah,
because there was a lot we just couldn't get to in the allotted time.
right. I can't
For
afford the
hand drawn
upgrade.
animation, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, no, I was just saying I can't afford the upgraded Zoom right now.
Sorry, man. For hand drawn and CGI, the debate, probably the best animated film I've seen would be Across the Spider Verse Part 1 that came out this year. I'm not saying that's my favorite, but it's just the best one I've seen
Mm,
because it melded the styles perfectly. I thought nothing was going to top Puss in Boots: The Last Wish for animation recently, and that film shocked me. Across the Spider Verse Part 1. Just, I didn't want it to end. I wanted to see where it was going next when it did. Now I got to wait till next year.
mm. Yeah, yeah, there's different forms of art that have been made that are really, surprising and really incredible in their own ways. Okay,
My favorite.
oh, go ahead.
My favorite animated film is Prince of Egypt from DreamWorks, and nothing. I've seen films that are good. It's just my personal favorite is Prince of Egypt.
Mm. Alright, I'm gonna, stop this recording real quick because we're gonna get to another one because this one has less than a minute. So we'll continue on that next, recording session.
Stay
We'll be
tuned for
back.
part two.
Alright. Hey, everyone, we're, back, for the, next recording session. These will two be, edited together, so alright, let's, continue.
Yeah, we've touched on most points. I think the last few things we need to discuss. We've touched the characters. Kale really doesn't need to have that much detail given to him. He's not that complex a character, but he's also not that dull. He's just your typical average guy.
Yeah, just with the burden with a huge responsibility.
Not a good actor. He had Matt Damon, but
Mm.
you can't really judge one character.
Yeah, it's the, yeah, certain characters were more compelling and, complex than others, but yeah, let's, continue.
I want to touch on the film's history because, as I said in the first part of this, the movie did bomb horribly at the box office. I want to say it was partially because of poor marketing, which is honestly a problem with a lot of good films that bomb. They just never get the marketing. Like Mighty Joe Young, which you and I are definitely going to deal in the future. You said,
Yeah.
I think. So keep an eye out for that one in the next few months, guys.
Yeah, I don't know exactly when we'll be doing it, but, I haven't watched it yet, but I do wanna do it at some point.
Yeah, like it's a Disney remake that I think is way better than the original. So
Mm.
anyway, that's neither here nor
Yeah,
there. But the
yeah,
point is,
yeah.
it was advertised horribly, so it bombed horribly at the box office. This film, I don't get why, even if it was advertised poorly. I think a lot of people thought it was because this came out the 1 year after Phantom Menace, which is regarded as the most infamous Star Wars movie.
Mm.
And Roger Ebert actually, I think I actually have the DVD where he quoted saying, "This is the movie Star Wars fans have been waiting for." Then again, this is the same guy who defended Phantom Menace as underrated art.
Mm.
Do we even need to discuss Phantom Menace?
Admittedly, I can only remember, parts of it, admittedly, I'm not
Misa
the
Jar Jar Binks!
yeah, I'm admittedly not the biggest Star Wars fan. I know, some of it here and there, But, no, but yeah, let's, continue with, Titan AE.
So the film, it actually killed 20th Century Fox's animation studio, which is then again they didn't have a good track record beforehand, so
Mm.
maybe it was coming. I just feel bad that it was this film that was the final nail in the coffin. Because can you agree it was a good movie?
Yeah, I mean, I have questions and I guess you could say critiques here and there, but like I said, this is a story that I was I guess you could say understandably or invested in because it's about our species and all the species of Earth, losing a home and and the responsibility of finding or in this case making a new one is on us or like a certain individuals of the human species to do this.
Yeah, in particular, one of the main things I never got about this movie, I mean, and I mean that just in terms of how it bombed. Would you mind if horribly if I looked up the gross real quick?
Go ahead.
Because I think it's goes for this section in particular.
Mm,
Let me just go to IMDb. Shout out to that site, guys.
mm.
This site legitimately has all the box office for that movie.
Oh, gotcha.
And there is the poster for the new Wonka movie, which I hope bombs horribly. Sorry,
The,
guys, that's a hot take.
the what one?
New Willy Wonka movie.
Uh, I think I just heard about it, but I haven't looked into it.
Please bomb horribly. That's all I gotta say. Stop the stop the remakes.
Uh, well, we'll see. I mean, like, unfortunately, like certain live action remakes haven't been very good. Like the Lion King 2019 one was so disappointing. The ending
I
fight
thought you
was
were gonna say it was good. We were about to have a massive argument there.
hmm, the ending fight was actually not that bad except for certain elements. But yeah, overall the movie was not. It was so disappointing. But yeah, but
Given
like
time, a friend of mine who maybe will join us at some point,
okay,
he flat out wants every live action remake to be the final nail in the coffin for Disney.
hmm,
Because I'm indifferent to some of the remakes. I've never seen them, so I can't really comment on them. I'm really dreading the Hunchback of Notre Dame remake that they're making, but
they're making one of those. Hmm.
yeah, but the original was really good. You know, they're gonna modernize everything, which is gonna be annoying.
Uh, I guess it depends on what elements they change, but yeah, let's, what was the, gross
Yeah,
for this?
the budget for this movie was $75 million estimated. It says its gross worldwide was 36,754,634 dollars, and it made 22 million of that in the United States opening weekend. Like, I'll put the numbers up on screen if you guys can see it. All right.
That is a
Like,
significant gap between, those 2, numbers.
oh, I actually just found out Blue Sky Studios also helped make this.
Oh, mm,
Those are the guys who made Ice Age. I found that interesting. Yeah, it came out in June 16th, 2000. That was almost a year after the first Star Wars movie,
mm,
or whatever it's called.
yeah, the timeline first movie.
Yeah, quote unquote.
Yeah, but anyways,
Anyway, one thing I think we should discuss: the soundtrack was really good. It's just
y
a brief note.
yeah, sorry, I got cough drops, yeah, the, music, was good. Admittedly, it wasn't, like, the main thing, like, I was really focused on. It just depended on the scenes, I guess, because like, certain scores and certain scenes really add to it, and to me, in this film, maybe it was about, it was fitting. It wasn't something I thought was, I guess you could say, as really impactful as certain elements of the movie.
It matched.
Yeah. But, yeah, like you said, it
Like
matched fairly well.
Cosmic Castaway, it's my turn to fly in Cosmic Castaway. I find myself humming every now and then, admittedly.
Mm.
And plus, to be honest, the song when they're fixing the one ship to go after the Titan, that's actually the Generator Rex theme song. If you didn't notice it,
Admittedly, I didn't really get into Generator Rex, but that's,
I thought you said you were. I'm sorry, I thought you said you were a Generator Rex fan.
no, 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 I was more I didn't get into Generator Rex, I was more, Ben 10's some of its stuff anyways,
Yeah,
that's a discussion for another time, or discussions, but, alright.
Secret Saturdays you love. That's the one I'm thinking of. You said
Yeah,
you
yeah,
liked.
that was definitely a very underrated show with a very underrated villain, but yeah.
Crossed over with Ben 10 later, and it sucked.
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't as good as I would've hoped, but yeah,
I'm sorry, we end up discussing that almost always.
No, it's just like, sometimes in or these kind of these kind of conversations, you get going down different paths, but no, this movie, like, it I will say it had some really good elements because, the story obviously was understandably and
It was
importantly
written really well.
yeah, like, you are really hoping, like, you're really invested in like, there being a happy ending, a new Earth or a new world for, species of Earth, being found, or in this case, made was something that was really, impactful because, I mean okay, so where were
Technical
we?
difficulties, guys.
Yeah,
Sorry about
it
that.
it just, things happen. What were you saying again?
Um, the soundtrack, I think, was what we were discussing.
Oh, yeah, the story, yeah, I was saying the plot was really, understandably I was invested in because, hopefully, like, new world, be found or made, but, you, see that, it also has a very, direct connection, to the main character because his father was the one who was really the lead, like, scientist or, a worker, on the, Titan project, and, like, it
And give it credit, he does die. They don't have a reunion. Give them credit for keeping that at least consistent.
yeah, it was a sad thing, but unfortunately, it was, yeah, the probability on them, like, meeting after, the dredge attacked and destroyed Earth was sadly not very high, but, that's another thing, but, it added to the elements of the, tragedy of this, story, but
And also give it credit, they don't say specifically what happened, so you're allowed to think what could have happened.
yeah. But, yeah, it's like, I guess a part of, like, the, stories, having like an engaging plot and like character growth and everything is like there are going to be struggles, there's going to be like hardships that you're going to have for certain characters. And this something that this new the creation of this new planet doesn't happen right after like the after Earth is destroyed. This is 15 years after Earth is destroyed. Kale has he's become cynical, detached. He doesn't expect there to be any hope. But as time goes on through his journey, the to finding of the Titan project, we see at the confrontation with Corso, before the change of heart, you see that Kale is really invested in like this new world. Like he's hopeful again, or he's the first time he's been hopeful in 50 years because it's another chance, another um, a new life and a home for humans, and not just other humans he claims he doesn't care about, but also for himself. But a part of that growth is caring about his species again, and we see that change and growth in his character. It's just it's really defining and shows like the plot really affected him and also affected us in one way or another.
Yeah, I think honestly, should we give this movie a thumbs up or thumbs down rating going forward whenever we do a crossover review?
I guess like we can if we want. I mean, even if I don't, you can, or like it just depends on like what happens in the situation. Or we can for at least, I guess to start with this one. I think it was generally good. Like there's some mixed elements I was uncertain about, and random to say it's not one of the I guess you could say not one of my favorite films, but it's definitely a very compelling story with like certain really good characters, and I think while there's some inconsistencies and I guess you could say criticisms I have about this movie, I think it's generally okay at the very least.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this movie thumbs up too. I mean, it's not. I don't think I'd put it in my top 10 or top 15 favorite movies. I mean,
Mm.
full disclosure, my favorite movie is American Sniper, and that came out in 2013. That's still my favorite movie. Followed by The Sound of Freedom, which came out this year. We're not going to open that can of worms in this review, but
I haven't watched either film. I mean, I didn't get into the whole like controversy with American Sniper. I didn't really watch the movie. I heard like some elements of it, but it wasn't
it's
like
not what the media was showing. I can tell you that. I saw the movie. It's really good.
mm. well, like I said, it was just it was because I guess the story just didn't interest me, so I don't really know any of the defining elements that really caused controversy, but, and I haven't watched Sound of Freedom either, but, like, let's
Let's
just
not get the comment section talking about that one.
well, let's anyways, let's, continue with the, discussion of this
Wrap
movie.
up. Yeah, I mean, for this movie, I definitely would put it maybe in my top 20, top 30. It's just,
Really?
it's a film that you forget exists because it's a really good film, but I honestly think this film was my favorite guilty pleasure film, to be honest. And I don't mean, I usually guilty pleasure is a film that's not considered good. This
Mm,
one is definitely good by all means. It's just, I couldn't put it in my top tier. It's just underneath it. Maybe it'll go up in time.
mm,
I have really high standards, though, to get into my favorite films.
mm.
Like, Ready Player One is in my top five.
Yeah, that's a really good movie.
Like,
I'm hoping the oh, go ahead.
my top five are American Sniper,
Sorry.
Sound of Freedom, Thank You for Your Service, which is another military film,
Mm.
Hacksaw Ridge, and then Ready Player One.
Yeah, I'm hopefully the, second Player One movie will be better than the book. I mean, I didn't read the book, but I heard, like, I saw certain specific elements to it because granted, that story was more I was more interested in, but
I love the
hopefully
movie personally. I never
yeah,
read the book, but I love the movie.
yeah, I haven't read the books either, but I do really enjoy the movie. It has really some good stuff to it that which I eventually wanna, do a video or at least or videos on eventually, but I don't know
We
when
got
that'll
we
be.
we've talked about doing videos about books, movie
Yeah,
adaptations based on books, and which
yeah,
ones we think are good, which ones don't work.
yeah. Um, and admittedly, like certain, like maybe not knowing the complete book, but like certain elements of the book that may be better or worse in the movie. But those are discussions for other times. But
I already know what my most hated book adaptation is, but I'll
mm,
save that for then. Trust me,
yeah,
I think it earns its spot.
mm. But no, Titan AE with the story that it tells and its characters is definitely something that I think I will. I'm not. I can't say for certain if I think it's underrated or not, but I do think the story is a very personal and very, compelling story to, for the, I guess you could say the human, a perspective or the human experience because, I mean, whether or not I mean, Earth, is our home, it's, it's all we know, it's all we've really ever known really, and it's something
But
that,
possibly all we ever know as a species, to be honest.
mm, we don't know for certain, well, maybe someone knows, but
No,
I
that's
don't
what I
know.
was saying. Like it could be, is what I was saying.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like I said, I don't know, but yeah. But yeah, this, it's just, our home, it's our home, and I think it's that, uh, she's important whether some of us realize it or not, um, and like, and it's just something that, it was just not only, terrifying to see Earth being destroyed, but it was also, heartbreaking because everything that it was and everything it has been, was destroyed except for, um, the people that escaped and the what was, saved on the, Titan project, and what's now on the, New Earth or apparently Planet Bob, but,
Planet
I don't
Bob Dylan.
I don't know. I know it was played for comedy. I don't personally really liked it, but I get why it was joked that way. But no, this is definitely I think in one way or another it was a very defining film that it's would definitely generally pull at anyone really because like I said Earth is our home and like whether the complexities of like humans and what we're capable of doing you know we just really hope, for the best for ourselves in the future, or in the present, but yeah.
I think this film is honestly very underrated, but
Mm,
it's easily one of my favorite films. Again, not top tier, but it's a film I remember, and I saw it when I was a kid. I think I saw it for the first time actually in '04 or '05. I actually had a VHS copy of it, then found out years later my sister had a DVD version of it, which I still have. It's what I rewatched when we were
mm,
preparing for this.
yeah,
It's
and
just,
yeah, go ahead, sorry.
it's a film you remember. Even if
Yeah.
you don't remember it, you still remember it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like I said, if I'll admittedly go back to watch this, again and again or every now and then, but, like,
Yeah,
there
every few years.
yeah, maybe, I mean, but like I said, like I said, the, creation of the new planet is something like I said, it's probably the most beautiful scene in the movie, and seeing, like, everything being formed together in that incredible, uh, formation of, space and everything, and seeing the new planet itself was really, and truly touching and an awe-inspiring experience to see.
Maybe I can't say that's my favorite scene in the movie.
Oh,
My favorite scene was the "It's My Time to Fly" with the Wake Angels in that space scene.
yeah,
But we can discuss that another time. It's just I really love the animation mixed with the song and just seeing all the stuff that was going on in that one scene. It's one of the few times the CGI and the hand drawn mixed perfectly. I couldn't
mm,
think of anything bad that was mixed there. It's just I love this film's good. What else can we say about it? We've
yeah,
talked everything we could possibly talk. It's a film I don't go back and watch like every week, but if
right.
I'm in the mood for it, I pop it in every now and then.
Yeah, I maybe after yeah, this, maybe, I talked about, like, most of the stuff that I think I wanna do there, like, certain elements, maybe certain characters should have been explored more, but, like, at
The book
some point
apparently did, I think.
yeah, yeah, but, like, I think the movie set out what it accomplished what it set out to do, I think.
Just like the Titan itself, it's well constructed, worth saving.
Yeah, definitely.
Look
Uh,
into it if you guys haven't already. It's maybe you don't like it, maybe you'll find something you like. It's that's honestly the joy of film. You can find something other people don't like.
yeah, yeah, but, yeah, but let y'all let us know what you think in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you have to say about this movie and, what it meant to you and what you all, thought of it. I wanna
Do you
again
even remember the film before we mentioned it? I also mentioned that.
right. I want to again, thank my, friend Nate for joining me. I want to, I'm glad to have him back. I want hopefully we'll get to do more videos with him in the future.
Maybe
I
more people will join us. We don't know.
yeah,
We could start having a community. My friend
yeah,
here could start having a community.
yeah. Um, but yeah, like I said, I wanted to thank him again for joining me. I'm always glad for him to join me and join these discussions. Thank you again, Nate, for being a part of this and for discussing this movie with me.
Take a look for this film. You're going to be happy you did.
All right, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We hope you liked this video, and thank you for watching. Bye.
Adios.